here we are, again. Let's just pretend that the first attempt at this did not happen. We're on Windows XP now. It's nostalgic. And look, everything actually looks perfect and it has the right colors. I don't know if it had the right colors last time, but look, here we are. Everything's working exactly like it should, unlike last time. I have confirmed that we will not crash. But welcome to Let's Play Hot Wheels Micro Racers. So yes, I'm running this on virtual machine now, which is nice, and actually works much better. But, so, this peculiar little game. First little thing to notice, if these menus feel kind of opaque, it's because they don't have any words anywhere. Hot Wheels games tend to do this, I notice, on the PC. I don't know if it's to avoid localization, because that means you don't have to translate anything, but also means that for people that can't read, such as much of this game's target audience, you don't need to worry about whether you can read things. Although, good luck figuring out what these things are. This, interestingly enough, only affects the resolution of the game in the races, not the menu. But we'll have it high resolution for your enjoyment. Fortunately, I can't use hardware acceleration apparently on this virtual machine, whatever. You can also use mouse if you want. I don't remember how that works. I'm not going to do that on the laptop trackpad though. You have multiplayer, one person using mouse or both people using keyboard. Can we have both people using mouse? No, I was wondering how that would work. I don't know what this does, to be perfectly honest. I don't know if it's difficulty or what. I legitimately don't know what that setting does, because it says nothing. But we'll try to figure things out. So, single player, multiplayer, we're not going to do multiplayer here. Not that there's anything much to be seen, but, so, here we are. The story. What is it? So, suddenly, ever so suddenly, here we are. Metacog, and I can remember the name of this one, but this one was in Velocity X. And Race Man, in their canonical car, their first appearance in their canonical car, Track D. Track D will appear in a number of games that we play, actually, so that would be why I assigned such a common car to Race Man. Or rather, why I decided that Race Man would have this common car, I guess you'd say. But see, right now it's just the two of these cars. There are more cars we can lock that we can look at, but I'm not going to show them yet, just yet. But it's just the two of them, alone. And they find themselves somewhere peculiar. We have a few different game modes, we'll show those off. What do? They do what they always do. We race. But we find ourselves here. That being on a beach. Of all places. Loud. Loud. Oh jeez. Forgot to turn down my volume. Look, who else is here? We also seem to see, I'm pretty sure I said it was going to be Danny on that tail dragger. The weird looking one with the really big tail. I think. I actually don't remember. And then in... what was it called? The purple one. Sorry, the one that's not Purple Passion. Scream and Holler. We have our good friend, Gearhead. But strangely enough, Gearhead and Danny seem not to be responding to us in any capacity. Oh, sorry about that. The little thing in the corner there. That's actually my mouse. My mouse gets messed up for some reason when I move the screen onto my... or when I move the window onto my second monitor. You might have noticed, by the way, that nobody made that jump except for me towards the end. For some reason they decided to make that jump so that you can only actually go across it if you boost. So the way the boost works in this game is the boost just refills every few seconds, which is a little peculiar, but means you can decide whether you should boost on sides and whatnot. But there are lots of jumps like that, if I remember right. Oh, and in that police car we also have XD3, which is... I believe in this game, I believe that's Tail Dragger. I don't remember which one's Tail Dragger. It's either the one with the really big tail, or it's the one that is the police car. I don't know the names of the cars in this game, because you don't see the names of the cars in this game, ever. But XD3, and a modified, what was it going to be? Evil Twin? I think it would be a modified Evil Twin. It's an interesting paint job. Everybody else has been left in the dust. Not responding in any capacity, in fact. Just there. It's quite strange. But did you also notice something else peculiar? We're small! Look how much bigger this world is around us. Oh, I hear some explosions. Is everybody else gonna make it here? Also, 1 second. There we go. There they are. Good job, XD3. Always coming in last, like usual. Racing is not your thing, XD3. Danny actually beat Gearhead by over a second, or less than a second. Interesting. New best time. Look at that. So, what do we do? Being stuck in this small world. Well, let's stick around in the beach for the moment, because we have some things to figure out. In fact, let's see what's going on now from Race Man's perspective, shall we? This game's gonna be pretty short, by the way, so I'm kind of deliberately dragging things out, if that's not obvious. Because you can unlock everything in this game in like 20 seconds. I mean, 20 minutes. Look who else is here. We also have Vert, who seems to be having the same issue. Vert is just here without any really response. Vert's looking a little bit blocky today too, but I don't think that's really much of a concern. Danny's actually a pretty good racer all of a sudden. Hey. Race Man, like in, what was it, Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. Still a pretty capable racer though. These cars slide quite a bit. Oh, this is what happens if you don't have turbo here, by the way. Oh, this car actually goes fast enough. Okay, so you don't need turbo to cross that. It's just that Metacog's car is so slow, you actually can't make that jump. Unless you boost. Nice, I actually wasn't aware of that. Nobody else seems to make that jump either though, so I don't know, maybe you have to hit the right angle. But you know what, let's explore. Raceman's gonna explore a little bit. Well, how's it going here? Weird things happen. Also, we get extra filled boost gauge, which, let's just do this, which for some reason makes invisible people cheer. I don't really know why. And the car just kind of does that. I have no explanation for what that is, in or out of universe. But we're looking around. Also, we drift like crazy for some reason. But there are also holes everywhere with little bits. And also, I'm gonna use that boost quickly because I hate that sound. There's no explanation for how that works, but hey, we're finding little things. Like is oftentimes the case, in fact. We oftentimes have some kinds of tokens assigned to pick up somewhere. Here we have stars that apparently give us more boost power, and we seem to be finding little bits of cars at the same time for some reason. If you look on the bottom right there, something has been assembled. In fact, we recognize what was assembled. What did we assemble here? Here we go. Ta-da! Is anybody else gonna finish? Good job, Danny. Good job. Your head also fell. Good job, your head. Same order as before, actually, aside from having Vert in last instead of XT3. But speaking of XT3, it's XT3. We found a variety of parts of XT3 and rebuilt XT3, despite having just seen XT3 quite recently. In fact, this is quite confusing. Probably some miscommunication between these two. Metacog thinking that they were already racing with XT3, and Race Man thinking that he just rebuilt XT3. And here's XT3, insisting that they are in fact XT3. What does one do? Let's look at these stats. That speed is horrid. Already objectively better stats, actually. XT3 has a little bit of advantage. I'm guessing that engine icon is acceleration. This is supposed to have really good handling. I guess that means it turns quickly, but everything slides so much in this game. You drift everywhere uncontrollably. What do we do next? We could try this. Let's have XT3 run off to another place. Let's see what we can do here. Or should we actually finish off? Oops. I knew it was our obvious that was going to be a lockable car, but how about... Let's go back to Metacog and finish things up here, actually. We'll see. Wait a minute. Why are you seeing I'm going to do a jump cut? I'm not. New game mode. To finish off the beach. For some reason I expected to not say anything during this loading stream, but I should. Strange. And look, here we are again. With clones again. Well, a singular clone, I guess. Of... Now, you see a strangely sounding non-responding Race Man. Who's still with us. Or suddenly newly with us. After Race Man having left to explore other places. There's another Race Man here with us with Metacog for some reason. Not to mention the still not responding XT3 and Vert. Whatever that explanation for that is. You guys shouldn't actually go too far ahead here. So you can actually have an idea of what goes on. Just pay attention to the bottom left corner, I guess. By the way, don't get hit by that beach ball. And now, suddenly, there's not any more fake Race Man. They've suddenly disappeared. It's like they never existed. I didn't even see it disappear, in fact. It's just not there anymore. It's like back in the days of that when we never knew what to believe. Although this is really confusing too. Why are we small? That's what we're trying to figure out. So let's see what we can do with that. But right now we need to find the others and whatnot. And these don't seem to be the others, considering that we've already confirmed that there's a clone of XQ3 for one. And there's a strange, non-responding vert that's racing against us very poorly. Now there's suddenly no more clone of XQ3. So what's supposed to happen is that whichever car is in last at the end of a lap disappears. It's elimination. Except, you don't see anybody eliminated if you're this far ahead. Also, doesn't time you? That's annoying. I wonder about time you. I'm so curious. I can't do that. I don't know what that setting does. I want to see if you can do something with it. I'm curious if it's a difficulty setting. But let's see what everybody's doing over here. Race Man and XC3 both, actually. See what Race Man was doing during that little elimination event. So suddenly, all those cars that Metacog was with have disappeared. So Metacog's going to head on over here too. We'll see them here shortly. This track's also one of the more difficult ones, I feel like. So we have XC3 here with us, and then we have two robots, other robots, mind you. All the robots. Why are the robots the ones that keep seeing? We have two other robots here. Yeah, again, not responding. Oh no! Okay, be really careful about that fan. I forgot about that fan. So, as a quick note, in preparation for playing this, doing like playtesting and whatnot, make sure this all works, I had, man, look at all this old computer stuff. Be very careful following here. I had gone through the first level, not anything afterwards though. So everything from here on is gonna be stuff I haven't played in the longest of time. Almost blind, semi-blind, whatever you want to call it. So where are we going here? Try not to fall off of things. But we do have XC3 with us, the XC3 that we recognize, but for some reason at the same time, we suddenly see yet another gearhead and another Metacog. Strangely enough. Looks like AI could do. Just prefer to not fall off. Probably gonna see someone else fall off at some point. On this, I think you can only make this if you boost. Shoot. And it's really tight too, you can actually hit the wall. That one's a bit more risky. Easy to fall. I want to read all these different books and whatnot, see what their titles are. Alright. We're already almost like halfway through the game. I could have probably 100% this game. I know I could have 100% this game already by the time this is over, actually. Interestingly enough, this game's soundtrack is like 20 minutes total, or 18 or so. You could 100% this game before you even hear the whole soundtrack. This game is shorter than its own soundtrack, essentially. Just interesting. Speaking of which, though, so I'm playing this with my own copy. I guess you can go off to the right there to avoid the spam. I guess that's a smart thing to do. That's really risky. The Man of Joy. I want to read all of these. So let's see what they say, because there are actually lots of them. But so, I'm using my own disk for this. At least I copied my own disk to my computer to put into the virtual machine and all that. And those marks stayed there for a long time. But, see, when I saved this disk from so long ago, I kinda wasn't thinking things through. So this was back in the day where lots of games of this nature weren't just a game on a disk, a CD-ROM that you would put into your computer. It was actually two disks. Where what would happen was, you'd have one disk, you'd put in your computer to run the game, it was basically DRM. You also use it as an installation disk. And then two, you'd have another disk there's actually music. And basically just like a CD that you could listen to like any other CD. Also, we probably shouldn't wait for everyone because we're never going to finish. Oh, hey, here's Gearhead. Or what seemed like Gearhead. Where is XT3? We'll see XT3 later. Let's actually join up on XT3 next episode. See what XT3 is doing here. And what was it? So, the thing was though, I didn't keep the CD. I didn't keep the music, so I'm playing this without music. Because you can really just play this game without the audio disc being in the computer. It just plays without music. So I'm going to be adding music in post. But I will also say, I love this game's menu music so much. I don't know why. I'll talk a little bit more about the music next episode actually, because there's some weird stuff about it. But in case you see it then, guys, there we go. Oh, XT3, who seems to be a little bit lost, surprisingly, falling behind a little bit. Doing their own reconnaissance mission, trying to figure things out in this computer room. For whatever reason, this old computer room, mind you. But that aside, I saw like how a computer on the left is actually playing the same game. Anyways, bye guys.